let's just keep Summerama going. Well, good news is, while we take Saturday off, I'll be here Sunday morning. I'll be here Sunday morning in the Oasis room with all kinds of kids your ages. And I would love to see you guys show up Sunday morning and come. We sing songs, we talk about the Bible, we do crafts. I would love for you guys to come and hang out with us on Sunday morning. So even though we don't have anything for you Saturday, if you want to come and hang out with us Sunday morning, bring your parents. Bring your parents. There's church for them too. Today we are going to talk about the lost and the found. We're going to keep talking about Peter. We've talked about Peter quite a bit this week, haven't we? We've talked about how Peter threw a net into the sea and brought in a righteous catch of fish. We talked about how Peter was called, follow me, I'm going to make you a fisher of men. We talked about how We've talked about how Peter had to get out of the boat and walk on water. How he trusted Jesus for that, didn't he? Yesterday we talked about how Peter trusted Jesus when Jesus said, go catch a fish. There's going to be a coin in its mouth to pay our taxes. And today I want to talk to you about Peter again. And I like Peter because Peter's kind of like me. He gets very confident sometimes, and he's able to like muscle up his courage and do big things, like walk on the water with Jesus. But then right after he muscles up his courage, he starts to doubt and he sinks. And there was one time where Jesus, or where Peter answers one of Jesus' questions correctly. Jesus, you're the Son of God, you're the Messiah. And then just a couple minutes later, Jesus says something else. He says, I'm going to have to die. And Peter goes, no, you can't do that. Never. I won't let that happen. And for the first question, Jesus says, those aren't your words, Peter. God gave you those words. And for the second question, he says, Peter, Satan gave you those words. See, I can relate to that. How many of you find yourself able to believe in Jesus and follow him in 1 second, and then maybe it's just a couple hours later, and you're like, God, where are you? Anybody? Anybody? I feel that all the time. I feel that all the time. So I want to talk to you today about after Jesus died and rose again, what were Peter and the disciples doing? What were Peter and the disciples doing? But first, you know what? I want to talk about another fish. Her name is Dory. And in her latest adventure, she went looking for her parents and had a big adventure at an aquarium. And when she finally escaped the aquarium, she was having trouble remembering who she was and what she was supposed to be doing. So let's watch as we find out what happened when Dory was having trouble remembering who she was and what she was supposed to be doing.
I know it.
Hello, I'm
It's
Oh no, Cupcake.
I know I've got a problem. I know I'm so sorry, and all this time I want to fix it, and I can't, and I try, but my thoughts, they leave my head, and ideas change, and I forgot you, and I'm so sorry.
Dory, don't you dare be sorry. Look what you did.
What?
You found us!
You found us.
Honey, why do you think we stayed put here all these years? Because we believed one day you'd find us again.
Exactly.
That's what it almost sounds
I thought you were gone. How did
We went into quarantine to look for you, but you weren't there.
And we knew you must have gotten out through the
Through the
pipes.
pipes. That's right, sweetie.
So-
And so we did too. And we stayed in this spot for you.
Today, we go out and lay out.
Shells. And you found us. Oh, honey. You found us, and you know why you found us? Because you remembered. You remembered in your own.
I did. All by myself.
Oh, honey, really? Have you been by yourself all these years?
Oh, I haven't been all by myself. Marlon and Nemo!
Dory has trouble remembering things. Right down to when she's left alone, she has trouble remembering. And you know what? The disciples, some of them had already seen Jesus alive. But still, I mean, a lot of things had happened. Their best friend, their teacher, their mentor, the guy that was supposed to save them had died. And they spent 3 days wondering what's going to happen. Jesus is dead. Was this for nothing? Then all of a sudden, after 3 days, Mary and Martha come and they say, the tomb's empty and Jesus is... John and Peter ran. They ran to the tomb to see, and they found it empty. And then Jesus appeared to them while they were praying together. He appeared to them. He walked right through the wall, right through the door, and appeared to them. Showed them, I'm here. I'm alive. And now here they are again. Jesus, after that, he disappeared from them. And they're still trying to figure out, because they thought, hey, this guy came just a few years ago, and we were out fishing. He said, follow me, because I'm going to make you fishers of men. And we followed him for 3 years, and then he died and he rose again. We have no idea what to do now. They were like Dory. They're just kind of out there going, where do we go? What do we do now? And so they did what they knew what to do. They did the only thing they knew. They went back to fishing. And so they're out on the boat. And this might sound familiar because they're out on the boat. And they've got their nets and they're throwing them out and they're pulling them back and there's no fish. And then they're throwing them out and they're pulling them back and there's no fish. And then a guy appears on the shore and he says, hey! Hey guys! Over here, yeah! Throw your nets on the other side. Where have we heard that before? And it doesn't dawn on them. Hey, John, the guy on the shore says we should throw the nets on the other side. I don't know, it worked before, let's try it. And throw the nets in, and the nets get so full of fish, they're having a hard time pulling them up, and it hits Peter. He remembers, just like Dory at the end of the clip, when, oh, Nemo! Oh no, Marlin! I forgot, I have other friends! Peter, he's pulling the fish in, and he's like, this seems familiar, I think, oh, it's Jesus! And he takes off his outer clothes, so he's down to his underwear, and he jumps in the sea fish over. Because he's so excited. It's Jesus. You guys, I remember. We're not supposed to be fishing for fish. That's not what Jesus told us to do. And now Jesus, he gets to the shore. And is Jesus sitting there like, "What are you doing, Peter? Shame on you." No. Jesus is sitting there by the fire roasting some fish. "Hey, why don't you bring some of those fish over?" Peter goes, "Oh, yeah, I'll get the fish." He runs over and he starts helping get the fish out. The Bible in John 21 says they caught 153 large fish. 153 with one net. And he brings it over and they're eating. And life is good again because Jesus is back. But in the back of Peter's mind, he remembers something. He remembers something. You see, when Jesus was taken and he was on trial, somebody came to him and said, "Hey, weren't you with that guy? Aren't you one of that guy's followers?" He said, "Nope. Sorry, don't know him." He was afraid of getting in trouble. He said, "I don't know that guy." "Oh, no. Jesus, is that his name?" "No, don't know him." Somebody else came to him. "I know it. You're one of those." He said, No, I don't know him. It's not me." And a third time, "Yes, we know you were following Jesus." And he stomped his foot down and he said, "I don't know that man." And the rooster crowed 3 times. And Peter had denied Jesus 3 times on the most important night the world had ever witnessed. Jesus' best friends deserted him. Peter denied him 3 times. And do you think while Peter was sitting there around the fire eating some breakfast fish with Jesus, do you think maybe he was thinking, "Is Jesus mad at me? I messed up. I didn't just disobey Jesus. I told 3 different people that I didn't know him. And I let him die." So when Jesus says, "Okay, Peter, John, yeah, you guys, let's go take a walk." Do you think Peter's like, oh no, here it comes. I'm in so much trouble. And as they're walking, Jesus, I love this story, because Jesus says, "Peter, do you love me?" Peter says, "Yes, Jesus, I love you. I do." And Jesus says, "Feed my sheep." That's a weird thing to hear, right? Peter's like, "I didn't even know you had any livestock, Jesus." What sheep? What Jesus meant was, you're not supposed to be fishing for fish. You're supposed to be taking care of God's people. Your job's not to fish for fish. Your job is to take care of my people. "Peter, do you love me?" "Yes, Jesus, I love you. I promise I love you." "Take care of my flock. Peter, take care of my people." And then a third time, Peter, when as things over, he kind of gets a little ticked off at Jesus at this point. He says, "Yes, Jesus, you know I love you." For the third time, Jesus looks at him and says, "Feed my sheep." You see, Peter denied Jesus 3 times, but 3 times What Jesus was saying is, you're forgiven. Peter, I told you that was going to happen. Why are you running away? Why did you forget what's into the sea when you should be out telling people about me? So let me ask you, Summerama, do you love Jesus?
Yes!
Be kind to God's people. Look at the person next to you. We talked about week 1. We're all made in God's image. God created each and every one of you, and He loves each and every one of you. So, Summerama, do you love Jesus? Take care of each. Said they will know. They don't know we're Christians. Have Summerama around, and we love the people. Take means yourself included. Bad thoughts, things people say that aren't true. If somebody tells you you're not worthy, God calls you His child, is of the King of Kings. And if we love Him, that He loves us and will love each other. Here's what I want you to choose today. I choose to follow Jesus always. Even when I don't know what's going on. Even when I don't really remember why I'm doing it. And in the good time, nothing's going wrong. I choose to follow Jesus always. If we make that decision, we won't be like Dory following the shells. Stop. Say, Jesus, I love you. Find my way. And Jesus, it's not like He starts calling from a long distance going, hey, you can find your way over here. No, as soon as you say, Jesus, I need you right now, He's here. He was, and He's always there, waving from the shore, saying, hey, Summerama, come spend time with me. I love you. Do you take care of each other and remember who you are? Jesus, thank you so much for all of the kids here this morning. We get lost, even though we forget who we are. You never give up. Just like Dory's parents never gave up on her. And we're waiting for. You want so badly for us to talk to you each and every day. Lord, you've given us your back, and that you're not going to be mad. That's right. Thank you for that. Thank you that Peter was able to get things right, Lord. We praise you that, God, he was able to help start the entire church. Lord, we just trust you as we follow you in your name. Amen.